I didn't even realize that I had it. The problem with how people usually talk about this, they talk about budgeting better, they talk about manifesting abundance, but at the end of the day, that was not addressing my core issue.
You cannot trick me. You cannot trick me.
By the end of this, you will understand the mechanism that I used, what I did accidentally to turn off my scarcity mindset. Because of the environment that I came from, I thought knowing about a scarcity mindset could fix it. I thought journaling could fix a scarcity mindset, but the more that I've tried different techniques, I'm realizing that the most powerful way to rewire a scarcity mindset is through action. No amount of looking yourself in the mirror is going to do it. Well, for me, okay, no amount of looking myself in the mirror and telling myself that I'm abundant was enough to rewire my brain to believe that I'm abundant. Because I come from a Christian background, there's always this thing about don't be a Peter, don't be the person who needs physical evidence to believe that something exists. But babe, I need physical evidence, babe. It gets to a point. It gets to a point where you are faithing it through. It gets to a point, at some point I need the physical evidence. And for me, I don't need my evidence to be extravagant. I don't need my evidence to be $1 billion.
When a flower does not grow, we don't blame the flower, we change the soil. We move the flower into a bigger pot. We put the flower closer to the window so it can be so it has the best possible chances for it to become the flower that you know it can become, so it can reach its full potential.
This means that if you are in an environment that always causes you to be in a constant state of anxiety, where even if you try to do the good thing, it is met with a negative result, what it does is that it programs you to not try. And the best way to get yourself out of this state of mind is, one, change your environment. And even when you're in the new environment, you should not stop trying. Taking great action in an environment that does not accommodate great action can backfire on you. So you have to be brave enough to take those same actions in a new environment, because it can bring you a more favorable result. And that's what I did.
Little things add up to be big things. Do you realize the compound effect on our lives is amazing?
I stopped trying to remove my scarcity mindset in one big move, and instead I approached it as eating an elephant one bite at a time. So what did I do? Every single month, I automated money, small amount of money, $100, automated it into a savings account. And then after a period of time, there's something in my nervous system that started to settle, because I had evidence that I'm somebody, one, who keeps the promises that I make to myself, and two, I have evidence that I'm no longer living in a state of scarcity. And the thing that moved the needle for me is I kept reminding myself, even in the smallest moment, I'm abundance. And what I'm saying is not a fairy tale. There is proof of that abundance. And where does that proof come from? It's because of my actions that I have proof that I'm abundant. I'm abundant because of my discipline. I'm abundant because of the decisions that I'm making. The decisions I'm making are safe.
Every time you do something that is hard, every time you do something, in this case, that is scary, right? Even in small doses, it don't have to be something crazy big, right? Every time you do it, you teach your nervous system, hey, I can survive this. I'm not gonna die.
It's almost like when you're in the gym and you do reps. I was doing reps for my mind and also for my self-concept, just from the simple act of automating money. It wasn't even like doing something hectic. The more I build disciplines that prove that I have control over this thing, the more it neutralizes, especially emotionally, because I used to put money on a very high pedestal, but now I see money as a tool. And the less emotionally charged I am when it comes to money, the more clear my thinking has become. It's so crazy how the thing that helped me to eradicate my scarcity mindset is just keeping the promises that I make to myself. Sometimes I am not a fan of manifestation, because I think manifestation kind of takes away from the power of repetition. And I'm not saying repetition as in visualizing, repetition of you actually doing the work, you being behind your computer or being in front of a canvas or you being on stage or whatever it is that you want to do, repeatedly facing fear in the face and telling it that you are not going to win today. I am the sovereign one here.
You don't need to get rid of fear. You don't don't need to try to evict it out of your mind. What you need to do is retrain your brain on how to respond to it, not rewire what you keep running from.
To be able to tell your life that you wanted to bend towards your will, bend towards your desires, requires a certain kind of demeanor that is not for the weak and the faint-hearted, my love. You know what I mean? The moment my scarcity mindset started to die was the moment I realized the power that I have within me to change the reality of my life. And that power can come from something as simple as having the small habit of automating. Because the moment I do it myself, there are certain times I can forget. So when you automate it, it takes away from that friction of having a forgetful mind, allowing technology to help me build a much stronger identity to prove to myself that I am somebody who keeps her word. I am somebody who can take little things and make them grow over a period of time. And can I say this before I wrap up, right? I grew up in a Christian household, but I think the most dangerous thing about coming from a religious environment is believing in miracles. And I think it's further reinforced by social media and TikTok, where you can be conditioned to believe that sometimes you will get the thing that you desire very quickly, and that can cause a lot of agony, especially if you can see other people getting what it is that you desire very quickly. And I think having to deconstruct the belief system of miracles has brought me so much peace. If a miracle happens, that's great, but for my own peace of mind, I'm going to navigate the world as if a miracle is not going to happen. Because hoping for a miracle, that can bring you a lot of agony. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what does success look like for you? Success, I realize, does not look the same way it looked like for me 6 years ago. For me, success means having a comfortable home, being healthy, having great quality food, having the freedom to go anywhere I want, whenever I want, controlling my time, being somewhere and feeling safe. That is success for me. I would not have said that 8 years ago. Once you understand what your version of success is, realize that there are some people who are going to look at you and project what their version of success is onto you, and if you do not meet their standards of success, they're going to label you as unsuccessful just based on their own barometer. The second thing practically that I've done to eliminate my scarcity mindset is to do things that scare me and to do them as often as I can. I try to do them daily, but you know, sometimes like you have a deadline and I don't go 2 days without doing something that scares me. Currently, the thing that is keeping me on the edge of my seat is YouTube, of course. Putting myself out there on this platform is something that I dare myself to do as often as I can so that I'm consistent, because I want to see success on this platform. And low-key, it scares me a little. So that is something that I do, but I hope you have a practice, because that bravery is going to leak into other areas of your life. The more that you do it, the less you're going to be focused on the things that you do not have, because you're going to be aware of what you do have, which is agency, which is bravery, which is creativity. And that right there is going to boost your confidence in a way that, yeah, is pretty incredible. The other thing that you can do is pick something that you cannot fail at.
You need to figure out what your natural skills are. You have things that you're naturally good at. You just never thought that you could actually use those things in real life.
Whatever privilege that you got, lean into that thing. Put yourself in environments where that privilege, whether it's a talent, whether it's a thing that you have, and you know that you annihilate the competition when you step into the room. Put yourself in there, and I'm telling you, it's going to rewire your focus and your attention to the incredible things that you've been blessed with. To write down the achievements that you do, no matter how small it is, especially if it is aligned to the thing that you want to achieve. For example, YouTube, right? When you gain a follower or subscriber, write it down. Okay, today I gained 5 extra subscribers. Guys, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. When you look back over 2 weeks, when you look back over 30 days, you're going to be able to measure the progress that you're making regarding the thing that you are working towards. And this is important because there will be times where that doubt comes in, sometimes that fear comes in, or sometimes that anxiety, it wants to knock at your door. But when it comes and knocks at your door, you're going to have a ledger to prove that you have no place here, because I'm a person who keeps the promises that they make to themselves. I'm a person who has the strength to build the life that they want. I'm a person that is building very successful habits. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm no longer the person that you used to spend time with. And the nice thing about this is that if you do these things for a week, right? And then for week 2, you add an extra thing on top of what you've already been doing. Over a period of time, you are literally going to change as a person. I generally prefer this way of doing things because, one, I can measure it, I can track it, and also it feels realistic. When you come from an environment that didn't have a lot, you develop small little habits that were not useful for you. And when you use this kind of system to rewire your brain to think in an abundant way, you are developing small little habits that annihilate those negative small habits. And over time, the weight is going to be shifted towards the more favorable reality. But I really have to stress that this is like going to the gym. This is like exercising. It needs to be a lifestyle. It's not a quick instant noodles type of situation. You have to decide that this is the lifestyle that I want to live, and over time it will be, but you need to run a strict program. Before I wrap up the video, I could end this video by saying, I got it all figured out, babe. Like I said, this is a lifestyle. These are reps that you're putting every single day. Your brain sometimes is going to fire that anxiety signal where it's trying to pull you to your past or towards bad habits that don't serve you. And it is my responsibility, it is your responsibility when those signals that don't serve you, when they pop up, for you to have the tools ready and in hand to point your focus towards the direction that you want. And that is why I'm not going to say that automating my money is the thing that completely eradicated my scarcity mindset away. That would be lying. It is me stacking these things together that has created a smoothie that helps me to redirect my focus towards the direction that I want my life to go versus the other way, because that is the old way. I'm good with that. And yeah, the things that you want require effort, and that's something that I've made peace with. So that's it. That's the whole video. In order to change your mind, in order to change your life, genuinely it takes one small decision daily, or when the moment arises, to change your focus towards the outcomes that you desire. The action doesn't have to be big. The action just has to be small enough that you don't fail at it, but small enough where you notice that if you're not doing the right thing, you know exactly what to do to course correct. And you do that enough times, you know exactly what's going to happen. So if you like more of this kind of content, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.